I flip that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to ride me, oh, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Pay attention, I'm on a mission. I'm there with the vision. Got a passion, making it happen. Ready for action. And this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to ride me, oh, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. So anyone who try to ride me, oh, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. This is my world now. Hey! Here we go! We're coming, ready or not, you better steady yourself, because we're racing somehow. There's nothing keeping this roof from blowing off. We're taking over the town, hit the switch and shut it down. Like Indian, we're electric, never stop. We're coming, ready or not, we're coming, ready or not. We're giving all that we got, we're giving all that we got. We're coming, ready or not. We're throwing gas on the fire, the stratosphere getting high. We're trouble when we get crazy, we get wild. Got dynamite in our blood, get ready and buckle up. When we go big, we blow up in ferocious style. We're coming, ready or not, we're coming, ready or not. We're giving all that we got, we're giving all that we got. We'll never throw in that white towel. You're never knocking us out. We're coming, ready or not, we're coming, ready or not. 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 Oh, pain on our face. Oh, drums of thunder that keeps our pace. And make no mistake, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. We're coming, ready or not. We're coming, ready or not. We're giving all that we got. We're giving all that we got. All that we got, yeah. We'll never throw in that white towel. You're never knocking us out. We'll never know. We're coming, ready or not. We're coming, ready or not. We're coming, ready or not.
Racing isn't easy. but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV, simulcast on CRN. It is Monday night. It's round number 4 of the Northwest iRacing series. Of course, the trucks are in the house, presented by CLICKIT RV. I'm Wesley Outland. Justin Prince is alongside, back for another week. Charles Wooten is pushing our buttons, and we're ready to go. Justin, me and you were talking, preparing, if you will, for what we think we'll see tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. You think this might be the most unpredictable race we might have seen in a very, very long time here at this racetrack because of the crazy season we've had.
It could be unpredictable to say the very least here, because it's a track where track position is going to be critical, yes, especially when it comes to this facility. The bottom of the racetrack so critical, draft so critical, to be able to try and utilize said draft and then save the tires. However, that opens up the door potentially for drivers who, if they do a strong qualifying run, to stay up towards the front, or take some strategy calls to keep the track position game going at a track such as Texas Motor Speedway. It's one of the more difficult ones to try and strategize for the Road to Pro side. And with it being Road to Pro week for the iRacing's qualifying series bracket order, tonight should be a stellar one for these drivers here in the Northwest Truck Series.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, and I think whoever or some of these wheel handlers of the virtual world take advantage of this opportunity is going to give them a chance to literally have a chance to go on that eNASCAR Road to Pro event and give a threat, if you will, to try to win this race. So I know we don't have everybody per se on the Northwest Truck Series competing on the eNASCAR Road to Pro, but there is a good majority that does that. And Justin, again, this gives you a wheel up. That's one of the reasons why we literally redid the schedule for the Northwest. The powers that be made it on a Monday night, because you could run this on Monday night, get yourself refreshed to prepare for the Northwest race on Monday for the Road to Pro event that will be on Thursday night.
And that's part of the reason I've noticed drivers, I think, like Aiden Anderson have done well in this season, because he's among those who also is running Road to Pro, albeit Last I checked, as a free agent as of a few weeks ago, mind you, for the Road to Pro side. And here's the thing. He's been one of the more consistent drivers when it comes to what trucks he has been able to run here in the Northwest Truck Series throughout the campaign. Top in terms of points scored, and of course one victory on the trot amongst the 3 races he's competed in so far this season. The interesting mark's going to be, though, who's going to be able to try and contend for tonight's victory, as he's amongst those not currently in the session for the qualifying order. It should be an intriguing one to see which drivers succeed and, in turn, which teams rise up to the occasion.
All of that, these questions and more will be answered tonight in round number 4 of 200 miles, 134 laps at the Texas Motor Speedway, and we will go there right now to show you the racetrack. We're literally about to wrap up the drivers' meeting. We will move into qualifying. Here is your race information for tonight. Practice done. There will be qualifying coming up in just a few moments. The best of your 2 laps, fastest lap put down, will determine the lineup, and they're saying now it's going to be 150 miles, 100 laps. So unless it changes, we'll let you know. But I believe we're being told now 100-lap race for this event. Now, obviously, sometimes that changes on us. So we'll see what all that shakes down there. So Kaufman Creative Weather Conditions on the bottom right. And Justin, you got a point that you want to make about the distance of this race, I believe, buddy. What's up?
The reason it's 100 laps, mind you, is because that's the distance for a Road to Pro competition. Because remember, the shortened distances came in for the Coke Series. That transaction also took place for Road to Pro. Last year, it was around 133, 34 laps. This year, it's down to about 100 on the 1.5 mile circuits. Hence the 100-lap, 150-mile format tonight for Texas, on a racetrack that's going to be very slick and hot.
Yeah, I mean, let's say it's the equivalent of 150 miles, 100 laps. That'll be like for an ARCA or a truck series race here back in the day, for sure. So, as a matter of fact, the trucks actually race at Texas Motor Speedway. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series are at Texas this weekend. And then, of course, in addition, NASCAR will be at Richmond. Let's take a look now at your Kaufman Creative Weather Conditions. Air temp at 80 degrees. Trucks are on the track. Wind speed 15 miles per hour. Track temp at 111 in the virtual sim. Partly cloudy for another week in a row. 5 weeks of racing. Sun clouds, sun clouds. What will that be like, Justin, on a track like Texas? And it looks like it's going to be a daytime race as well.
It's mid-afternoon nearly as well. I think, in turn, this is going to be extremely difficult for the drivers to try and race on this evening. One of the major talking points to start off the drivers' meeting tonight was about how slick this track could be. And when it comes to Texas, I've already noticed with drivers in the qualified runs like Robert Gambo a little bit, they're having a hard time being able to find the grip and be able to stay on the bottom of the racetrack in the first place, whether it's pushing too hard on the exit to slap the wall, or whether in some cases nearly spinning the car out, in truck out rather, in 1 and 2, with that difference in banking compared to 3 and 4. It's a very difficult track because that banking difference to actually set the truck up right to be able to make sure it's sealed.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on that, as here comes now Robert Gamble and the Aerokinetic number 54 machine. Chevrolet to the back straightaway right now, 5th overall. And Toby Ritters just turned a 30 flat, JP, and put him to the pole.
I think that's extremely impressive because that was on his first lap. You know the intriguing part? That was nearly identical as best practice time. So it's the question of, did he just try and push for the first lap and then throw away the second or possibly lose the time of the second? I'm very curious he can find that extra 10th to try and pick up a guaranteed spot. Yeah, no.
Wow. He's still quick though, 30, 00, 30, 41 on his last lap. But I'll tell you this, 7 hundredths? 7 hundredths of a second faster than Dan West Jr. 30.07, 30.00, 30.11. Roy Grande, Justin, with a good pole spot in the top 3.
Grande decent in qualifying, I agree. He was very decent in practice as well, amongst the top 15. But I think it's important to mention that a lot of those drivers from that contingency with Ritters, and in particular Ryan Bloom, I expect to be very quick tonight because those Win Racing trucks, very consistent in final practice tonight, very consistent as we've seen at Homestead with Dennis Moore's victory, and as well their teammate who had the technical issues, of course, from the race lead as well, that being Kevin Smith. That team's got a lot of pace this campaign, and I think at this point, you have to watch when Ryan Bloom gets on the clock. They still have at least a few more minutes to do so.
Better watch Mark Walls as well. 30.05 on his first lap. Mark Walls, second fast, coming hard with the Walls Beard Co. Ford with a head of steam. Is he there? Will he bump Toby Ritters? No, he will not. 30.12. A 30.00 right now for Toby Ritters is his best lap. 30.05 for Mark Walls. Dan West Jr. to third. Here comes Jeff Stabnow, the Billings, Montana, number 24 machine.
You know what
Stephen
I'm noticing?
O'Hare, by the way, just 30.02, Justin.
Was about to say, you know what I'm noticing? Stabnow's kind of taking a, how do I phrase this proper, a road to pro approach. He is not pushing too hard on this first lap, and here's the reason why so many drivers do it, because it's able to maximize that tire temp for your second qualifying lap. So that's why Stabnow is keeping it slower on the first lap, building up the speed to go hard charge on the second.
Will it work? 25th, lap 1. Full send it now for the LSRTV. CRN Ford as he's in the wall. Trouble, Stabnow into the inside safer wall barrier after he slaps the outside wall. He'll end up 25th in qualifying. Ryan Bloom on track now. A driver that we know for Win Motorsports, Justin, has been a dominator in getting poles.
Led the way in practice as well, so I'm not going to be surprised to see him at the top of the board like that with a 29.9.
First driver to crack the 29.90. He don't even need to go for a second lap. Just bumps Toby Ritters on a 30.00 to a 29.90. Here comes Chad Malik. The Superflow colors of the 08. Ironically, Justin, race this rained out Saturday night. Me and my friend Jackie watched some NCAA Final Four basketball and Days of Thunder. Well, that's the Superflow 46 car after Cole Trickle won his first race in the City Chevrolet car. That's a throwback to that car.
Always a pretty paint scheme to look at. First lap, though, didn't count there for the 08 because they scraped that backstretch wall. A lot of drivers I'm noticing
That's right.
getting way too tight. He's going to slam it again. Just about.
Oh, he saved
Now
it
he
that
does.
time. Oh, no, he hit it. I thought he had it saved. And I'm going to tell you, Justin, that's something we're going to be watching tonight for sure. Definitely coming off of turn 2. Here's Sean Breitzman, winner last week. Winner last week at Homestead.
I think this could be a good run for Breitzman. A good first lap on the 30 flats to get him inside the top 4. Is there going to be enough speed in it, though? Looking very tight on that second lap. That's been a major trouble spot. Into the wall nearly again.
And by the way, I just want to correct myself. Dennis Moore won the truck race last week at Homestead, but Sean Breitzman was the Homestead Xfinity B Series winner last Wednesday. Crossing the line, 35.07. Good enough, at least to be in the top 5 in qualifying, JP.
I think that just about does it for the drivers on time. The only one who's really trying to charge forward is Tyler King, who's already taken the end of the second lap. Even then, didn't improve too much either. So I think tonight could be, in this case, one where if you are part of Win Racing, you're in control of the destiny. Those two drivers, Bloom and Ritters, have a very quick truck once more to work on and as a base. We've seen that at Homestead. It's already carrying through for Texas. The question is going to be how it's the race trim going to be for them tonight, especially with drivers with Walls good in race trim, Breitzman good in race trim, and drivers like O'Hare and West Jr. with good track position to start.
And with Ryan Bloom being the fast qualifier, he'll be the man ready to lead us to the green flag. When we come back from Texas, this is iRacing on LSRTV and CRN. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. We're getting ready to go at No Limits Texas in the virtual world for round number 4 tonight of the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. And the trucks are lining up on the pit lane sideways, cattywampus, if you will. Let's give you the starting lineup here tonight. Ryan Bloom, Win Motorsports front row. You got also Toby Ritters right there alongside. Row 1, couple of Chevrolets. Stephen O'Hare and Sean Brightsman is row 2. Row 3, Mark Walsh. This is his home track, if you will. He resides now in San Antonio. And Dan West Jr., the 55 from Washington. Row 4, Brian Reynolds and a former Northwest Cup champion of the series of Chris White. Top 10, Roy Grande. Solid qualifying run for him, Justin, and Jaden Ledbetter, the 36, the top 10 at Texas.
Even Paulson amongst the top 12 in row 6, starting alongside Ron Hunter. His early time stuck for 12. Dan Lowther amongst those who try different lines at Homestead. He'll start 13th alongside Ryan Gormley. Then it's John Audenbacher, the 15th spot, row 8, alongside the Catman, James Viney. Out of his Carl Burke in 17th with Robert Gambill in the top 18 after smacking the wall in the second lap of the qualifying runs. Then it's 2 Tylers in row 10, Tyler Kane inside, Tyler Kim outside in 20th.
Row 11, Brett Johnson in the number 7 machine. I know everybody's ready for opening season. He's a Yankees fan for MLB. And Bug Eyes, Aaron Cooper, the 71, will make up starting 22nd. Row 12, Chris Camary, good to see the 15, and Gary Nichols in the number 8 machine. Row 13, as the field rolls, is Chris Kynes in the 20, and the legend Frank Harris in the 11. Row 14, Brett Grunwald in the number 51, and Troy Ollison will be in the 49. Top 30, we'll find Dana Rogers along with Jeff Stabnow. He hit the wall in qualifying, and that hurt him. And those are your qualifiers. Other drivers in the back include BJ Tidrick, Chad Malik, row number 16, and row 17, nobody. So there's your lineup here. So, car count a little down than what it used to be for the last couple of weeks, Justin. We've normally had over 40 truck fields here, but 32 is still a good number.
Still a solid number, but bad news for 2 drivers. It looks like Tyler Kane as well as Frank Harris not making the starting grid just noticed. Kane with technical issues. Frank Harris leaving the racetrack prior to the starting grid. So 30 drivers ready to start things off for what should be an intriguing one to see which drivers can do the Texas 2-step right here tonight.
It looks like Ron Hunter is also not going to make it in the race. And another driver that's notably missing, the 00. For Win Racing and Walla Walla, Washington's Kevin Smith after the bad luck he had not here. We're ready to go for tonight. 100 laps the distance, round 4, mimicking Road to Pro for Thursday for eNASCAR. Green flag in the air, we're underway in Texas. Oh, we got one in the grass. Trouble.
Brett Grunwald
No yellow flag
into the grass.
Brett Grunwald. Yes, sir, Justin. That was Brett Grunwald that drove through the infield grass, but we do not get a caution flag.
What a way to start things off, to say the very least, just from a stack up and a slide of the grass, it seems. Great start for Bloom out 4.
Ron Hunter, Tyler King, Frank Harris not ringing the bell at the go call. And we're 1 lap in with Ryan Bloom leading the cavalry off that second turn. Ritters, Walls, right there. O'Hare, don't count out Reynolds, another solid drive. And they're trying to go 3 wide behind Brightsman going to 3, Justin.
Bottom line going to be also prevalent. Dan West Jr. knowing so passes by Brightsman. Now Ledbetter looking to follow on the conga line. Chris White trying to make soup. Side by side with West Jr. off in the grass to get underneath Brian Reynolds at the flag stand.
Virtual pass in the grass, if you will. Shades of Earnhardt and Elliott in the All-Star race now. Also trying to battle here with Reynolds, West, Ledbetter with the Lowe's throwback colors of Jimmy Johnson. All this going on now as we're in the early going in Texas. They're in 3.
West Junior quickly building up the run for the battle for 5th position. Losing ground quickly to the leaders. Reynolds loses ground off the corner. West Junior back inside. West Junior has to check up a touch. Preferred line off to 1 and 2 as Reynolds tries to make the third line work once again in 1 and 2. A tough spot to do it.
Back stretch into 3. Walls down to the inside. That's Mark Walls. After a 3-year absence, battling now with Ritters for the number 2 spot. Going across the line. This is for 3rd and 4th. Massive cloud cover across the start-finish line at the virtual Texas Motor Speedway and almost around the entire track now as there's a little sunlight to the back straightaway, Justin.
-7 on the track temperature Fahrenheit so far since the green flag for qualifying. Ritters trying to steady things out in 3rd. Having to deal with a lot of the dirty air. Going to be a talking point throughout the race. It goes back as Walls pulls away by a truck length out of 4.
Back to the trioval. The dog leg, if you will. Look at O'Hare and Ritter's battle. This is going on in the top 5. 5 laps into this race, 95 to go. This mimics, again, the distance for the eNASCAR Road to Pro event. By the way, don't forget, there is a, we got one of the splits for the eNASCAR Road to Pro that is on Thursday night. Caution is out. Yellow flag will fly. First time here at Texas.
And the 08 of Malik had some problems in qualifying. I believe the 08 has gone up and over down the backstretch, Wesley. A tough break for the Days of Thunder paint scheme, getting caught up with one of the cars from a team that actually helped a lot with that production. Hendrick Motorsports paint scheme theme. Gary Nichols down the back straightaway. Look at the replay as sliding up. Just a touch bit not clear. It's enough to flip them through the catch fence.
Through the air for the Superflow Chevrolet. And that will cause the caution. He was actually, believe it or not, Malik had a, oh, he's going to fall all the way back to 30th now. So some of the late entries are back on track, but they're at least 1 lap down or more. Tyler King is back on track. Dana Rogers is back on track. One man unable to answer the call yet, Justin Frank Harris. And he is now 7 laps down. And we've got guys behind the top 15 coming to the pit lane right now. Everyone else in the top 20 stays, or top 15 will stay on track.
Might be a smart call, actually, because the fuel mileage at a track like this one here at Texas is usually around the 45, 48 lap mark. So if you can save enough fuel on some of the cautions, or rather get a quick caution even, guess what? If you're Brightsman, Stabnow, Tedrick, you can one-stop it. Otherwise, right now, you're still in a bit of a fuel-safe situation where you need to clutch and coast to the back, but it is doable with this early caution. Everybody else playing the track position game here.
Caution out again right now, watching the field work their way around the racetrack. By the way, thanks to Virginia 811. Call before you dig, and dig with care. Of course, we appreciate them being on board for sponsorship this year for LSRTV. 1 caution, 2 laps under yellow so far. I think we'll probably get the 1 to go indication this time by try to get ready for a restart here. Justin, your thoughts of the opening 10 laps of this race at Texas so far?
Expected it to be the way for Ryan Bloom with the clean air being so prevalent here at Texas. I'm more so surprised Toby Ritters is sliding back and struggling in said dirty air, because we've seen a lot of speed in practice from those bomb speed shop perspective trucks under the Win Racing banner. It's just been the trouble spot, I think, right now with the traffic, and Ritters losing a lot of ground, but it's a bit of a surprise. For the most part, though, a lot of the front runners are the ones I expected to be up here. Like Walls has shown some good speed. We've seen good speed from Dan West Jr. in the past. We're seeing good speed so far from Ryan Gormley, like he showed at Homestead before he damaged the truck several times. So a lot of the drivers who have speed, showing speed. A lot of the drivers who have shown the strategy card just took fuel only, or utilizing the strategy card.
Hey, do you want to join iRacing? Scan the QR code on the screen right now. We'll keep it up for at least another 20 seconds right now to find out more information on how you can sign up for iRacing today to be on the portal, whether it is for NASCAR, eNASCAR Road to Pro. Maybe you got dreams and aspirations to make it into the Coca-Cola eNASCAR Series. Or even if you're one of the viewers of the Pacific Northwest and you'd like to tangle with these boys virtually, click on the QR code and check it out at iRacing.com. And of course, as always, they normally have amazing discounts available, especially for new subscribers. That is iRacing.com. While you're doing that, check us out and hit that subscribe button at LSRTV on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at LSRTV, at Searman Sports as well, and of course at iRacing on social media. Lights off with the pace car. Justin Prince, we're ready for the first restart when they come back to the Geico restart zone, and Ryan Bloom and Mark Walls are going to be right there neck and neck when we drop the green.
Expecting this to be solid restart again for that bottom line. Again, you do not want to be on that top groove, especially in 3 and 4, even more so in 1 and 2, as we've seen in real life as well as virtually here at Texas. So it's essentially in a good solid spot if you're Ryan Bloom's case here, being able to dictate this tempo, dictate how much he needs to save. The interesting factor, I think, is going to be as this night goes on, if it gets to a green flag run type of a race, what happens to those 20th on back who took the fuel only to be able to make sure they can make it a one-stopper from here compared to the 2 stoppers up front?
Yeah, we'll try this one more time. It's now going to be officially 10 laps completed as the field works their way off of turn number 4, cycles their way back inside the Geico restart zone. A couple of Fords along the way with Bloom and Walls on the front row. O'Hare, Ritters, and West, top 5, come to the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air. 90 laps to go, 10 laps in, and the whole shot will go to Ryan Bloom. Simply, clearly, mainly off into turn 1.
Might have a possible lane change for Toby Ritters, trying to make a pass down towards the middle of the start and finish line. 3 wide taken down the backstretch on Ritters. Gormley taking advantage of the confusion with Ledbetter to the inside as well. Through 3 and 4, Ritters losing lots of ground.
Going across the line. And look at now, Ritters on the outside, hung out to dry. Here comes now opportunity for Brian Reynolds, Ryan Gormley, Christopher White. They're all looking on the inside, back to the corner on the backstretch.
Race control now informing Ritters that he can either protest the lane change or take a drive-through penalty here. So we'll see what Ritters plays to do. He does not seem to know over the radio what to do here. He's in 7th with track position, riding behind Ledbetter off to 1.
13 of 100 laps. Bloom and Walls right now are the leaders. They are 1 and 2. O'Hare and West. All of this going on down the backstretch. Ritters back to the bottom as they work their way off into the corner into turn 3.
Ritters is taking the penalty. Ritters has indicated on the radio he's heading this time by. In comes the 23 down the front stretch, so Ledbetter picks up a little bumper over Brian Reynolds and Christopher White. White to the inside, in fact, to Reynolds into 1. Lane and half up again for Reynolds as a result as Ledbetter runs away.
Backstretch into 3. Look at now, this is Vining, the purple car, or the truck, the Catman. Skulls on the top. And here comes now Cooper on the bottom. Brett Johnson will follow. This goes on as we work 15 in next time by.
Cooper, one of the biggest movers so far, up 10 spots amongst those who stayed out the last caution. And around the bottom, but the Catman looking to make the top work. It's dark purple versus bright pink. The musical trucks work through 3 and 4, Vining high side, trying to give a little space to Cooper.
Vining, climbing the banking. Cooper now back to the bottom. You're up top side. Aerial coverage presented by LSRTV. Your home for sim racing. And right now, the Catman holding off the 3-truck battle with Cooper, Johnson, Stabnow. That goes on to the top 15 in the 3.
Back to single file as Brett Johnson looks to work things forward. Jeff Stabnow, the first of those on the top-off strategy, though behind him, up 15 spots after the crash in qualifying. Stabnow, keep in mind, needing to save fuel for the big picture for the race. I can just ride on forward and follow Johnson's tire tracks as Johnson takes the truck way out of the marbles.
Back straight away, Johnson now. Under attack here by Stabnow. All this going on as they arc their way into 3 and out of 4. Here's the battle. Here's up front. Look at this now. This is for second. O'Hare has got it. Waltz wants it. And in addition to that, you've got Chris White and Ledbetter going at it for position. Behind them in the top 5 in a turn 2.
Those drivers working down the back straight away. Same can be set for the second grouping with Chris White, Jaden Ledbetter, and Dan Lowther all single file. The major factor, though, amongst the lead group to mention. Out of 4, where did Toby Ritter cycle? Right in front of the leader. Contact just taking points with Ritters to the back end. O'Hare with the bump to him into 1.
And look at this 3-truck scramble single file now. O'Hare, which way does he go? To the outside, to the inside, trying to make a close in. On the leaders, Bloom, O'Hare, Walls. O'Hare, this is the man in that second spot. Got Ritters in front of him, it looks like. And somehow or another just cannot seem to clear him as he go back off into the corner.
It's all about aero when having a teammate is so critical. Already the contact once. O'Hare having a hard time building up the run. Tries to take an air peak towards the back straightaway off into 3. Truck length and a half back though still. O'Hare starting to back up these corners, try and build back up a run. To be able to regroup with Bloom back in clean air. With the help of Ritter swapping back with him.
Getting ready, believe it or not, to put 1/4 of the way through this race. Justin, this race will fly by a lot quicker than 200 miles, won't it?
Well, usually when it comes to RTV races, it's about an hour and a half at the max, even with some of the cautions with the current distance. So it's not a surprise to see it go fairly quickly so far. Keep in mind, we're about halfway through the fuel run estimated as well. So for drivers like Wallace and Dan West Jr. working together, they have to think of the caution down the backstretch.
Well, there you
Hunter
go.
in the 30 machine around the back straight away, collected with Chris Camary. So 2 of the teammates collected as a result of contact with Gary Nichols as well.
All the while, second yellow flag of the race. This time it's Chris Camary and a couple of others. Ron Hunter with a problem. Justin Prince saw it, broke loose for a second caution of the race.
2 teammates getting collected as a result of this replay, but 3 wide already behind. Hunter trying to hold middle, but Nichols actually gets contact for the truck underneath. That turns Hunter. In turn, collects the secondary truck in that situation, that being Chris Camary. Camary was the one involved in the initial contact that sparked all of that down into the exit of turn 2. This is not the caution the drivers on the fuel strat needed, though. This, in turn, puts a lot of those drivers who took the fuel 15 laps ago in a bad spot.
On board again. Here's another reason why the caution's out. That's Nichols on the inside. Another look at what happened to cause the caution. And there's the contact. Nichols nowhere to go. Turn, got into Hunter. Oh my, I think he was hoping that he could have just stayed forward and kept his foot on the gas, and that just did not happen at all. Here comes the race off pit road. Justin, do you think these drivers can go the rest of the distance here with this pit stop just being done?
No, they'll still have to pit one more time. The interesting question's going to be, though, how these different ideas play out. There are 3 tire sets in the pit for tonight's race here at Texas Motor Speedway. And I think an asterisk needs to be put on the movement for Jeff Stabnow. The first of those who pit from the first caution, but he just took fuel only again. Here's the problem with that. He's on tires that are now more than 20 laps old in this race.
We are coming up on the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification on CRN, the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV from Texas when we return.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Welcome back to coverage from Texas. Hey, do you need a quality website? Contact Kaufman Creative today. Of course, big thanks to Kaufman Creative. All of our sponsor reads, we want to acknowledge them and say thank you for them joining us. As of course, big thanks again to Kaufman Creative. I mean, whether you want to have a website done for its racing or iRacing, you name it, they got it done. I think Kaufman Creative, of course, did a phenomenal job giving us the new launch of the iRacing on LSRTV website. Of course, thanks again to Kaufman Creative. This is coverage of the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. Of course, we thanks them sponsors. We also thanks those of Race On Texas. So many others. We appreciate y'all very much for being a part of our coverage. And again, if you're keeping tabs of our Virginia 811 call before you dig, caution counter, it's now up to 2. And we are a quarter of the way through, Justin. And again, still a lot of racing left to go here. Hands down, it's been an interesting 75. I'm sorry, it's been an interesting opening 25 laps of this race with 75 remaining.
I think it's been very prevalent. Ryan Bloom's got a very fast truck and a lot of prep work put in throughout the week. He has shown he's got some strong pace here this week, here in Texas. The question mark of this restart's going to be, how are O'Hare and Walls going to handle this situation? Because a scratch of the head to me in this situation, they stayed out. I'm not sure why, because they can make it a one-stopper from here if they pit.
All right, lights are going to go off on the pace car. Justin, any drivers that are in the pack that you think we should be keeping an eye on? Obviously, right now we've had 3 different winners in 3 races.
I think amongst those in the pack right now, I'm curious how Sean Brightsman recovers. He tried a different strategy with fuel only. Was going to work if they stay green, but now instead he's 17th, so he's going to be one of those drivers, I think, who will be charging pretty hard to get back up to the front.
Ready for the restart. Back to it again with O'Hare now. Walls, West, Bloom, Gormley. Here we go. Top 5. 3 wide for second. Dan West Jr. going to the middle as they battles Bloom into 2.
Down the back straightaway, Bloom still trying to clear by West Jr. or one of the old tires, cleared on by quickly. In regards to Walls, still Bloom outside. Hard charge to the outside group for West Jr. with the squeeze.
Cross the line, 75 to go. 1/4 of the way through. Going off into the corner. O'Hare, West, Bloom, Gormley, Walls, top 5. Gormley now trying to battle for 3rd. Battle for the lead to the back straightaway.
Into 3, West Jr. tries to clear, does clear easily on O'Hare's older tires. O'Hare continues to ride with Gormley, now sliding underneath out of turn 4 on the crossover. Gormley with the run. Looking to zoom up and keep up with the 55, West Jr. in the 1.
Watching them work their way off into the corner into 2. Thought about sticking it 3 wide, did not do it. Gormley now. What a power move for that truck from the top 5 up to 2nd. And Dan West Jr. is the new man up in front, the number 55, as he works his way off the corner out of turn 4.
West Jr. looking to set sail. Gormley looking to try and reel in that sailboat. Still within about 3/4 of a second. Picking up a solid buffer over Bloom. And already, the old tires of O'Hare proving to be a trouble spot. Already back to 5th goes O'Hare. Chris White up to a race high 4th.
Back across the line. There goes the 47 Chevrolet. That's Chris White, former champion of the Cup Series. And Bloom now settles in. Here comes now the Atlanta winner, Lowther. Up on the top, battles Reynolds. Here comes this battle going on into turn number 3, with also Walls in the battle.
Lowther moves up to 7th on the move on the old tires of Walls. Reynolds makes it to the bottom. Here comes Aaron Cooper inside of the 48 as well. A plus 13 from qualified for Cooper. Cooper on the rise with the Prince truck.
Across the line, it'll be 30 laps in this time by single file with West out in front. Gormley, Bloom, White, O'Hare, Ledbetter, Lowther, Reynolds, Cooper, Brightsman, your top 10. They're all single file now as they work. Oh, almost some contact out of the back. Brightsman now. Grande and Walls battle behind him into turn number 4.
Down into turn 1. A lot of the drivers starting to bundle up a bit. A hard charge for Tyler King. Trying to make it 3 wide on Walls, peeking to the outside. Brett Johnson gives space to the inside. Walls hits the side of Johnson. He slides. Walls downs into Gamble. Gamble slides to the inside wall. Gamble blows the motor. Walls crashes into 3. No caution yet as Jeff Stabnow slams into it. Sean Onenbacher around, and the caution is all out after a massive stack up and a massive wreck for a good mile here at Texas.
Caution is out. 3rd time in the race. It's the big one. Justin Prince, you saw it break loose on the front straightaway.
The second they caught up to the old tires of Walls, it was bedlam, to say the very least. James fighting amongst those who had to try and skate around all the trouble spots. Contact happens coming down the middle of the back straightaway between one of the aerokinetics machines and Walls. Contact for Binding on the checkup, and everybody slams in. Stabnow, Onenbacher, significant contact. Once again, the trigger spot, the 48 on the older tires, really getting slammed into down the back.
Another look at it.
And I'll say this, Wesley, I think this was coming, so to speak, with the speed differential for Walls on the much older tires. Just got caught with Johnson in the second. He bounced off Johnson, that bounced him off of Gamble. And then pandemonium. Bad luck for Hunter, his race likely done. Jeff Stabnow, absolutely demolished. And several others getting slammed into it, including Grunwald, who had that terrible start to the race on lap 1.
So, we reset. We go again. Ryan Gormley has absolutely been strong. Top 5. West Jr., Gormley, Bloom, White, Ledbetter. New names up in the front. We're going side by side. So you'll see the restart when we return from Texas.
At CLICKIT RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back. 35 of 100 laps. We're approaching halfway with Justin Prince. I'm Wesley Outland. And, well, cautions, precautions. Would you say that, Justin?
Yeah, they have for much of the day, it seems, so to speak. And it could become that type of scenario with a lot of drivers with tire spin. I'm very curious how they handle the restart, to say the very least. 17th on Ford, staying out once more. Few drivers such as O'Hare, as to be expected, taking tires. Tyra Kim amongst those taking fuel only. So the interesting mark again is going to be, how long does the run play out? And in turn, if we get a green flag run, how does the strategy in turn play out? It's still one stopper no matter how you slice it. It's just a matter of which drivers are looking to try and capitalize on which scenarios here and see if they can find a way to get the track position later on in the run.
All right. Lights are out for the pace car with Dan West Jr., Ryan Gormley. Bloom and Wine on the front row. Row 2 behind. Ledbetter, Lowther, row 3. Reynolds and Cooper. Brightsman, Roy Grande. Solid run for the man right there in the 18 for the top 10. By the way, going into this race, understand there's a hiccup in the points for the Northwest's. Paul Newton should not be in second. It should be Caden Anderson, Dennis Moore, Chris White, Ryan Gormley, and Dan West Jr. Right now, your top 5. And I got to tell you something, as we get ready to go to green, Justin, all of these drivers that are in the top 10 in the points are right there in the hunt of the win for the night in Texas.
I don't think that's a coincidence when it comes to a lot of their consistency this year. I will say this when it comes to Paul Newton. Well, he didn't make tonight's start. He had been the only driver to finish in the top 10 in every truck race before Texas.
Ready for the field to come back. Storming into the Geico restart zone. We are back underway on lap number 37. Dan West Jr. off into turn 1 at No Limits Texas, off into the shadows, into turn number 1 and 2 to the back straightaway. Here comes now Reynolds, Cooper 3 wide. Lowther give room as they go to the back stretch, heading to 3.
Now they're able to clear, heads off into 3 underneath Ledbetter. Takes a peek underneath the 36. Ledbetter slips and slides up the track. Lowther wanting to go places. It's the top 5 for truck 63.
All right, they come back to the line and off into 1 and 2 again. Look at Lowther now, pulling away from Ledbetter, and now everybody's single file behind the top 7, if you will, there, Justin.
3, Ledbetter amongst those trying to sort themselves out of the single file line. Reynolds watches behind. Oh, while Brightsman peeks underneath Cooper, a bit of a checkup as the 71 plays back and forth. Now Brightsman peels him off the bottom into 1.
Brightsman inside. He's got company. That's Cooper on the outside, trying to graze alongside the right, trying to run down Reynolds and company. All of this is going on into turn number 3.
For Brightsman, again, trying to find a way around Cooper. Nearly onto the back bumper, nearly makes contact with him, in fact. Cooper still trying to play hard defensively for 8th spot through 1 and 2.
Hold it together. Cooper now stuck on the bottom of the racetrack again as they work their way into turn number 3. Hold the line into that corner. Little contact. Push and shove it up the racetrack goes Brightsman, bouncing off of Cooper. Here comes now King in the battle as well. The champion of last year making a run on these trucks.
Tendrick able to zip on by. Brightsman already getting shuffled back there, having to regroup. Roy Grandi with the peak. Can't do so as now Brightsman looks to gather it back up. Next up to try the battle with Cooper. Tyler Kane into 3, can't get inside yet.
West, Gormley, Bloom, White, Lowther, top 5. We are coming up on halfway. We'll give you that LSRTV mid-race report with the cross flags come out with Justin and myself on the analysis of the first half of this race. But for right now, as they work their way again off that corner out of turn number 2, it is all fair game and it's all single file belts are into turn number 3.
Patience game really going to be critical much of this race tonight. Brightsman trying to find clean air pockets. Tendrick getting a little bit tight. The major point to consider as this run continues, if you push too hard on that dirty air, you're likely going to cook the right front tire. And as we've seen from drivers even in qualifying, you do not want to be tight here at Texas.
Back straight away into the corner. West, Gormley, Bloom, 1, 2, and 3. White in that mix. Lowther in the top 5. West is the man that's out in front. Look at now Bloom. Bloom and Gormley going at it. This is for second. Justin in the corner.
Bloom looking to fully complete the move on Gormley. Gormley with the slide back to the inside out of 2. Diving in the corner. Gets underneath the No Limits Texas side to the inside into 3. The Boise State covered truck loses the bottom of the track. Ryan Gormley able to go for the crossback and able to rip back the second spot. Looking to pull back away from the Chevy.
Closing in on 6 laps to halfway now. This is on board. Well, there comes Bloom. That was on board with Gormley. And Bloom is closing in.
Down to the 3, Gormley still looking to charge hard. Is he pushing too hard? You can push too hard in the midst of these corners to break away. Bloom rolls the corner into the wall. Gormley with the right rear fender.
Single file. Into the corner, off into 1 and 2 now. Gormley opening up that door. Look at Bloom. Gormley, side by side. This is for second. And while this goes on, Justin, West is pulling away. Caution!
Trouble.
Caution is out. I think it's Cooper.
Yes, it is. It's Aaron Cooper run in turn 3. Called out down the middle of the back straightaway as it was that battle talked about for 8th position. Cooper and King. BJ Tendrick also picks up contact as Cooper's hard defensive moves eventually seems to boil over down the back straightaway. Look at the LSRTV replay. O'Hare had just gotten the pass done too right before that mark for the contact towards turn 3.
Oh, he got stuck on the safer wall barrier too for the 71. He had to take a tow back to the pit area. Purple rain has come to Texas and it's no limits on the Cooper machine.
Those safer barriers have not really moved lately. But I will say this. I'm going to be surprised at some of the drivers who stay out here because this is just about right of the fuel window, right about halfway. Most of the field, in fact, taking the chance to pit with this strategy time.
So the pit stops are ongoing. And I got to think this is the money stop. And once these pit stops conclude, we'll prepare for what will be the LSRTV mid-race report update with Justin Prince and myself. As you see, Dan West Jr. entered first, exits first in the number 55. And that is where we are at right now, coming up to halfway in about another couple of more laps. I'm Wesley Outland. Justin Prince is down below. Justin, it's been an interesting race so far. A lot of cautions. Is it what you thought we were going to expect here at No Limits Texas in the first half of this race?
Wasn't expecting the total of cautions, I will say, so far. But I will say this, when it comes to the racing so far, it's been clean air has been king. Fresh tires have been also important throughout this entire race, and we've seen that with the majority of the lead changes tonight. We've even seen that with the balance of Ryan Bloom's truck, where the second he was in the midst of the traffic, it became a lot harder to be able to try and move back to the lead compared to when he was the leader and running away. So I think that's, again, the characteristics of the track for the most part. The more intriguing part I find is a lot of the field at this point is starting to bank on more cautions. 7 trucks did not pit this caution. They are hoping we keep going cautions, breed cautions every 10, 15 laps like we have.
Yeah, we're seeing that. And I also see in the scenario, seeing all these different cautions in the race, I think we're up to 5 now, I believe. Justin, we also really have not had an opportunity to see what truck has got the strength of being up in the front. I mean, there's been so many different opportunities now of different leaders now in the pits, and now we're going to see what a former Northwest Cup Series champion and Chris White can do now in the 47.
I still am curious how the old tires are going to hold up. Right now, we've seen how quickly they drop for some. On the last time it was attempted, it didn't work out well for Mark Walls, who's still several laps down. I'm more curious, though, at this point on Dan West Jr. for the restart. He's looked fairly solid once he's found clean space. He's also been very consistently strong in traffic even. So I think Dan West Jr. has a solid truck. I still want to put Ryan Bloom in there if he's the leader. Ryan Bloom, though, I don't know if he's got the balance he needs once he has to ride in traffic.
Yeah, all of these stories and more are going to be decided here. I believe we're being told they're going to come to the line. They will get the 1-to-go indication this time by. So it's going to be Chris White, along with Dan Lowther, Sean Breitzman, John Adebacher, Brett Johnson. New names up into the top 10. Justin, we're seeing guys that are literally good falling back. And I said this, and I don't want to be like a broken radio on repeat dial, but literally we've seen so many new drivers or drivers that have struggled in the past, literally showing their strengths now, being able to come up here, battle, and compete as we get ready to go back to on-track action and settle in for this restart here in Texas, my friend.
I think it's just the comfortability with the truck, but also having a strong setup base in the first place to be able to get themselves there. You have a solid base. You can drop it up to the front. And that's the major difference, Mark, I think, for some. I'm not surprised, though, with what we've seen from Gorley today, I will say, because he did the same thing at Homestead. Come to the field, run well up at the front. The key for him, I think, keep it clean.
That has been your LSRTV mid-race report update. And now we settle in for officially the green flag after halfway on lap number 50. It'll be lap number 51 when they come back to the Geico restart zone. White and Lowther on the front row. Breitzman, Adebacher, row number 2. Johnson and Ritters. Kim and West. Bloom and Gormley. Some other drivers in the back. Keep an eye on, including Reynolds, Ledbetter, King. Chris Kynes with the top 15. We're back to green.
Good
big
restart
speed,
for
big
White
jump. Yeah, I'm sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Say a good restart for White, but a good restart as well for Breitzman. Already clear just about for second. Lowther trying to find the outside speed, trying to make that line work. John Unnenbacher already down a faster pair. Looking to clear by Frank Johnson for 4th downs down the back.
Back straight away into that corner. Lowther up on the top. Brightsman will follow, and Unnenbacher's right there with him. Johnson is also a driver that's really impressed me, Justin. Another solid top 5 for the Coca-Cola 7 Chevrolet into turn 1.
Nearly sliding into Dan West Jr. though. Here come the freshies. West Jr. the first throw in the strategy. Gormley looking to clear Johnson on the outside down the back. Ritters on the older tires following behind Johnson. Gormley sits around the outside of 3. Here comes the battle for the fresh tire advantage with West Jr. out of 4.
Through the dog leg. Kim under attack by the points champion of last year. And oh, they got him in the wall. What a save there. That was, I believe, Burke's truck. But all the while, they hold it together, and we still stay green. No caution.
Meanwhile, the fresh tires of West Jr. Gormley find the bottom. Underneath Unnenbacher, they go out of 4. Both of them already to 3rd and 4th respectively. The 2 Chevys looking to fly forward to be able to catch up the Chevy and Toyotas of White and Brightsman respectively into 1.
Back off into the turn, into turn number 2 to the back straightaway. West trying to run back down White. Here comes Gormley. Justin, Ryan Gormley has just been absolutely impressive. It doesn't matter whether it's been the super speedway races or what he done at Homestead or tonight in Texas. Everybody will run with him. He races fair, he races clean, and he wants to win on this series badly.
And already up to 2nd with the move with Dan West Jr. back up to the race lead, passing by White quickly. Gormley has had a good track record in the past of performing in higher SOF performance races. So tonight, I'm not surprised again to see him do well tonight. Now he looks to try and build up the run out of 4. Still within a truck length of the race lead. Brightsman already back and forth behind White by about 3/10.
Brightsman on the bottom. There goes Unnenbacher up on the top. Here they come, working their way back off the corner. They're going to try to go 3 wide. Thought about it. On board, alongside Lowther. This is Stephen O'Hare. He's in 9th. They're working out of 4.
It's really building up for the drivers on the fresh rubber through the pack. Ryan Reynolds falling behind Ryan Bloom to get on through 4th and 5th respectively on Brightsman. And again, we've seen this all night for drivers who stay out on all tires. It's very difficult to hold onto the traffic and hold onto the track position, especially knowing they have to pit soon.
Unnenbacher on the outside. Someone give him room. Those 3 trucks on the bottom. Brightsman, Ledbetter, and O'Hare. And look at King. All this happening in the top 10 into 1.
Looking to try and set the countertop forward. Despite the damage, Tyler Kane able to get through some of this traffic quickly. He gets underneath the old tires of Brightsman. Brightsman, some of the oldest tires in the field, 37 laps this time, able to zip on by his King. Tyler Kane up 11 spots for the starting grid, up to the 8th position out of 4.
Coming to the line, it'll be now 40 laps to go. Next time by with across the stripe, it's Dan West Jr. Again, still the leader. Ryan Gormley 2nd, Ryan Bloom 3rd. This is all going on in front of these trucks. I believe that's Brian Reynolds up in front. This is 4th and 5th going off into the corner.
Rewind now back down to 1 line. White is Ledbetter, single files out. O'Hare able to make the pass on him as well as Chris White. And some of these drivers willing to get very brave, knowing some of these gaps are starting to grow and grow fast. The top 2, West Jr. and Gormley, already up nearly by 2 seconds for Bloom and Company, who took a little while extra to get through the rest of the Hornet's Nest.
The track, Burke is. Here comes everyone else sliding by. Dan West Jr. Only about a quarter of a distance on Gormley. Could tonight be the night for Ryan Gormley, Justin, to win? The top two trucks are pulling away by almost 2.5 seconds on the rest of the field attitude.
So the question of how the long run pace really settle out. Gormley has a solid truck. It's the matter of can it keep up. Bloom, meanwhile, has not been able to chip away at that gap to West Junior and company. He is stuck 2 seconds behind the rest of the field, although he has ditched O'Hare and Reynolds in their respective pack into one.
Working off that corner. This is the driver of O'Hare. Stephen O'Hare now, he's in fourth. Reynolds is behind him. All of this is going on with Reynolds, Ledbetter, King, White, Burke, Brightsman, top 10. All of this is taking place as we are approaching now 63 laps now in this race.
He's starting at lap 64. Keep in mind, drivers like White, Lowther, and a couple others having to come in soon for the respective strategies. O'Hare, not able to keep up with Bloom. Ryan Bloom just now, though, is finding that mid to long run speed that's so critical at Texas. He has picked up about 4/10 in the past 2 laps. It's just about now 1.5 seconds to Gormley behind.
Cross the line. 65 laps coming up on the board next time by. This is now Ryan Bloom. He's in third. Remember we mentioned the top 2? There they are. And there's the interval for the third place truck. And guess what? There's about 1.5 seconds before you find O'Hare. And before you find Reynolds, there's another gap of traffic as they work the top 5 out of 4.
And the major thing to consider was when it comes to these trucks in the open setups, if you make a truck good for short run, it's likely you're going to push tight in 1 and 2 or slide around in 3 and 4. If you have to lift a ton in 3 and 4 in particular, that's where you end up losing so much time. Bloom right now seems to be in a spot that can carry more speed in 3 and 4. That's come to the advantage. Ledbetter amongst those starting to slip back. Despite the damage, Tyler Kane seems to be in the same ballpark as Bloom to the inside, making the pass out of 4.
King at the dog leg. Ledbetter trying to reel him in. Got that Jimmy Johnson Lowe's throwback truck, if you will. He's a rookie driver on the series. He's got that yellow stripe. But Ledbetter, definitely one of those drivers that, though he's running, okay, let's be honest, Justin. He ran some races last year, but he's running full-time for rookie this year. But with that being said, with just the little amount of races he ran last year in about the summer to the end of the season, he has gained so much experience. What a strong top 10 for the 36 right now.
On some of the railroad drivers from the Northwest, yes, I think, again, it's just about the confidence, being able to find a rhythm, be able to work together with his respective grouping. Remember, he was amongst those who worked in the past with some of the Super Friends. He's worked with Brian Reynolds tonight for reference. So I think having strong teammates to lean on is so critical if you want to improve as a driver. Dan Lowther as well, very much so a solid race meanwhile, but he is on the cusp of the fuel strat, 46 lap old tires. Brett Johnson also on the stay out strat, looking to pass some slightly fresher rubber into 1.
Working off of 2. Look at Johnson now. There's that truck 7, and now we look at Adenbacher. These are drivers that are now back into the top 20. Adenbacher in 18th. Ritter's in front of him. They're back on the lead lap. By the way, just spitballing, I'm looking at time and scoring correctly. Looks like as we are about to approach lap number 70. Justin, we have 25 trucks of 32 on the lead lap. That's pretty darn good if you ask me.
I would be not surprised in that total. I'm going to be more so expecting lap traffic after pit stop cycles. Will be important to note, though, Ryan Bloom has made the pass on Ryan Gormley. Gormley has fallen off a cliff through 1 and 2 compared to Bloom's speed long run. So some of the leaders are really falling off. Bloom is matching the times to Dan West Jr. Gormley has chewed up his rubber to the point where he's running up to 6/10 off the pace. of even those we're keeping an eye on, like James Vining right now, who is, mind you, in 16th.
Backstretch into 3 for Vining, the Catman. Solid top 20 drive, trying to get the stab now and move into the top 15. Look at this battle now. This is for 3rd.
O'Hare and Gormley nearly lost it out of 2, getting loose. Gormley holds on to the bottom to take back O'Hare's spot for 3rd. But a big bubble for Gormley. O'Hare with contact to the left front fender. Little damage now to O'Hare's front nose in turn. Gormley really has shredded that rear tire. That right rear has been holding on all throughout the run. Gormley has chewed up his stuff after 20 laps of the run plus. He is on 24 laps in and does not look comfy.
Look at this, off into the corner. This battle for 2nd, it continues. It's now 3rd, O'Hare and Gormley. And while this happens, you know, Justin, West and Bloom, they want this to go on because the interval is now over 3 seconds as we are 3/4 of the way to the finish of this race here at Texas. No limits now as you're moving into the final 25 laps, no doubt.
Still think there has to be a little tiny bit of the limit of how hard you push to make sure you don't fall off a cliff like Gormley has. Bloom has been one of those who sacrificed his team the short run pace, be able to succeed long term in this race. Gormley succeeded short term. He is not succeeding in the long term right now here in Texas. And what can I say? Everything's bigger in Texas. That includes the tire wear and the amount of steers you'll have if you burn the rubbers on your Goodyear Eagles.
Look at there's Reynolds is 6th. This is outside the top 5. All of this happening now is, I believe we're going to take you through the field now as we approach the final 25 laps of the race. Justin, right now we'll start off with Dan West Jr. Obviously, his son Devin West won earlier in the season. Dan West Jr., a 2-time back-to-back Truck Series champion, is looking to have his first win of the year happen for the Shelton, Washington native. He looks strong right now and leads the way. Ryan Bloom is in the 2nd spot. Obviously, he's one of those drivers for Win Motorsports that has been strong all year. Solid poles, solid finishes, but can he finish in P1 to get that first win of the season, Justin? That is your top 2.
I know O'Hare currently dealing with a little tiny bit of damage in the 41 machine, 3.5 seconds back, but is amongst those who is inside the top 10 on total speed per lap average. Currently trying to pull away and doing so solidly over a very loose Ryan E. Gormley. Gormley started off the run strong, within a chance to battle with West Jr., and then the rear tires started to wear after 15-20 laps. He has fallen 4 seconds behind the 55 since then. In the top 5 right now is a Beaver State Racing truck. It's Tyler King who is holding on to the top 5, and despite his damage right now, Wesley has been running like it's a very clean truck. No issues with that front nose, it seems, tonight for King.
Understanding Sean Brightsman, Toby Ritters have just pitted. Money stop time, possibly, and closing in on 21 laps to go.
Not a
Look at this,
surprise with the
Adenbacher.
timing for them.
Oh, man. Sorry, Justin. I thought Adenbacher was about to eat the safer barrier coming out of turn 4, but he saved it.
Adenbacher does have right front damage, so that might be affecting aero-wise. If you hit that right front fender, you can be very tight. Adenbacher looks very tight. But I was going to say, too, that's going to open up the window pretty soon. Some of the drivers might be in a fuel save mode if they've been clutch and coasting from the start. And we might not find out if anybody's going to be able to do that until the final 10 laps when there's 1 or 2 trucks left on the racetrack.
Look at this. This is the leaders. This is the leaders, believe it or not. are kind of showing you through the field. And obviously with 20 laps to go, now we're starting to see possibly a battle brewing for the lead. And if this happens, Justin, this will also allow possibly O'Hare, if he can quickly get on the whip, to try to run these drivers down, because remember, 2 trucks working together is better than 1. When they're all racing against each other, it closes off that interval, that time, that distance. And here comes everyone else trying to run them in right now, but under 20 to go.
Bloom right now looking to set things up with West Jr. under 20 to go, coming to 18 laps to go this time by. No indications yet on the pit stop window for these two. Bloom looking to see if he can set things around. West Jr. looking tight off of 4. He's come near the wall a couple times. Nearly slides up on the safer barrier again out of 4.
On board, Ryan Bloom. Best lap of the race, 33.1. And now he's trying to close in on Dan West Jr. Closing in now to about 0.02 of a second the distance. There you see now 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so on right there. And lap trucks in the way. Dan Lowther, winner at Atlanta, going to lap down. Oh, right in front of Bloom was Dan West Jr. What a save as he about slapped the outside. Safer wall barrier. He could have took him out, and he still goes back to the lead. Bloom lifted.
Bloom definitely giving a break there, knowing the pit stop window is right on the cusp, and Bloom nearly loops it out of 2. Holds on to it. West Jr. gets a little bit of breathing room. How long do these drivers try and push it? What do they do strategy-wise? This could be starting to approach a window where it might become a splash and dash scenario for the leaders.
Possibly could be that. If they get a caution, though, this will change everything. Justin, are we thinking these drivers can't go the distance? And they're not conserving either. They're not saving fuel.
It's going to be tight. But at the same time, do you want to bank on there being a caution? Here's the risk of coming in, though, if it stays green, or rather having a green run like this. If you pit too early, you could get yourself caught laps down in a race such as this one. Trouble in turn 4. Gary Nichols has blown the motor from 15th.
Number 8, Nichols. But no caution yet. And there he is, spinning, sputtering, smoking on pit road. The number 8 DuPont Automotive Rainbow Warrior throwback of Nichols. He goes to his pit stall. Here come the leaders through lap traffic, 15 to go. Here now, under attack. Another truck being passed. Troy Daggett goes a lap down again. Multiple laps down for him.
Bloom looking, trying to find a way to gain ground, pressurizing some slides from West Jr. He slid himself, though. That's the tough part. They've already dealt with some of the traffic, lapping up to 14th position. West Jr. continues to hold on with the clean air, but how long will that stand with the tires going all so difficult to hold on through the corners?
By the way, correction, I just want to make it. Brett Grunwald is in the 51 truck. Troy Daggett used to be in the 51, but not anymore. He's now in that number 99 machine. Is all the while. Here come the leaders to the back straightaway. 13 to go. It is pucker time. Time to head to the payout window of the Northwest for tonight at round 4. And Justin, it just blows me away, man, that we're already moving into 4 races, a month of racing for the Northwest, and the events have been absolutely phenomenal as Gormley pushes out of line. Here comes more truck, clear a path into 1.
Gormley, amongst those good on short run, might be needed a caution to be able to contend. Brightsman amongst those who took the gamble with the strategy. Pulling quickly to the bottom side. Brightsman, though, is a lap and a quarter behind the rest of the field. And that's the tricky part on if you get a wrong run, you end up putting yourself in the box. And Brightsman, guess what, put himself in the box as well as a few others.
Gormley amongst lap traffic as well. Now 13 trucks on the lead lap, as believe it or not, there went the 51 of Grunwald again to go a lap down with the leaders of the pack. Gormley is up to 5th. There's the leaders working through lap traffic. This might be a deciding factor of the race as well, Justin.
Yeah, and if it comes down to that, West Junior may not be happy. Bloom may or may not be happy. So it's going to be important on the timing of when they reach traffic if it comes down to that, or when traffic reaches them. West Junior nearly slides up. BJ Tendrick put in the wall and turn with the fresh tires.
Working now, 10 laps to go. Remember, this is the same distance that the eNASCAR Road to Pro trucks will run on Thursday night. And remember, we are excited for a opportunity for LSRTV to simulcast with LTN Network. And here are some of the upcoming events, including tonight, Wednesday, trucks. Tonight, Xfinity Cars Wednesday, the eNASCAR qualifying Road to Pro from Texas. That again, simulcast. We've also got the Northwest Super Late Model Dirt Series. And Justin, as we also approach under 10 to go, this Sunday night, the new Truck Series with the World of Thunder Truck Series on Sunday night right here, iRacing on LSRTV, buddy.
I think that last one's going to be very interesting to see how drivers play out, because there's a lot of expectations there with the background for them at the dirt side. But coming down to 7 laps to go, Bloom, it's time to go. Right now, need to find ways to push. The top fuel mark noticed up to 55 laps. If you think you can make it, you better go now.
I don't know if we're going to get a caution, Justin. I just don't see if it's possible.
This is going to be tricky. That's the tough part for Bloom. Bloom in through 3. Closing in, West Junior with the checkup. Bloom looking to try and cut underneath. West Junior slides out the track again. Bloom again can't get the run. 6 to go.
Better lay your cards on the table, and you better do it now. Time is running out. West is up in front. Bloom is second. Both of these drivers are looking to go to victory lane to join drivers that have won this year, including Caden Anderson, Dan Lowther, and last week's winner, Dennis Moore. 4 for 4 if this happens right now. West, 5 to go at Texas.
Bloom still trying to keep up the pressure, keep up the hustle. A little bit breathing room given to the gas pedal. Off of 2. West Junior again a little more tight. Bloom trying to get the run with the banking. Still can't find any way to get to the corner panel to pull him back. But drivers on fresh tires are coming. Tyra Kim and Frank Harris within 5 truck lengths. Closing in, coming to 4 laps to go to become a factor.
Coming to the line, 4 to go. There's less than 6 miles left. There's the champion of last year, King, a solid top 5. He's in 4th. And well, that goes on for the top 5. Reynolds, Gormley going at it now. All of this happening. That's Tendrick, by the way, the 72 of Tendrick. That's the driver multiple laps down. And while that goes on, the leaders come to the line. 3 laps to go, working off turn number 4. DWJ, Ryan Bloom to the inside. He couldn't get there at the dog leg. 3 to go.
Getting squirrely, it's getting a little tight. To the inside again goes the 25 of Bloom. Sliding underneath, West Junior starting to really slip and slide. Coming to 2 laps to go. Bloom trying to set it up into 3.
Backstretch into turn number 3. Bloom now, final time on the bottom. Will he get there with the time running out? He's got to find the opportunity to make the move to the stripe. 2 laps to go. Interval now about a half a truck length. Justin, they're off into turn number 1.
Bloom again, setting it a little deeper, nearly to the bumper. Gets back on the gas quicker too. West Junior again with the slide. Bloom this time just about there. Bloom reaching, trying to get to the inside. Does into 3.
Bloom inside, looking on West. West Jr. trying to battle back. He has that line. There's contact. He backs away. White flag. Bloom got the clear. He leads them into turn number 1. Final time. They go in the corner.
Bloom looking to set sail. Dan West Jr. fought all one long to hold off the blue 25. Bloom now with breathing room by 3-4 truck lengths past the stars in the 3.
Into turn number 3, Ryan Bloom up in front. Here comes also down Stephen O'Hare closing in. He's trying to get to Dan West Jr., but they won't catch Ryan Bloom. Ryan Bloom for Win Racing goes to the line. Another win for that team, and he will now make it the 4th different winner of the series in 2023 here tonight at Texas. Ryan Bloom in victory lane. Dan West Jr., I think, Justin, he used up his tires. I don't think it was a virtue, per se, of wondering, if you will, about fuel. I think they realized they could go the distance, but I think in doing so, the tires were shot. And to take advantage of that, Ryan Bloom did. He's going to be the winner tonight.
Bloom waited.
Wow.
And pushed and tried as hard as he could to get the chance that he was waiting for. Able to pressurize the mistakes right at the very end, waiting for the opportunity, and gets to burn it down on the front stretch with the checker flag after tying for the most laps led at Homestead. Gets it done here tonight.
He'll be burning it down tonight, no doubt. The Northwest high five salute awaits these drivers. Ryan Bloom plowed into by the Catman James Vining. In reverse to the pit lane. The celebration is on as looks like Toby Ritters gives him a little punt there to say congratulations. Frank Harris with a nice shot on Ritters. And this high five salute will now crash its way into post-rage activity into the pit lane. Here we go now with the results. Ryan Bloom the winner. Again, 4th different winner in 4 races for season 10. Dan West Jr. in 2nd. Stephen O'Hare 3rd. Tyler King and Ryan Gormley, another solid top 5. As well for Briar Reynolds. Roy Grande, what a run for him, like a win. Jalen Ledbetter, Stephen Paulison, and Justin, another driver that had a solid top 10. Jeff Stabnow, a good points night in the 24.
And them in the 11th position tonight. James Vining, the Catman, holding on to a lead lap finish. Final stages of this one also can be set for Carl Burke, the last of the lead lap. Christopher White, amongst those who tried to get a lap back to end the race. Instead, they finished in 13th, first lap down. Brightsman, 14th. Joey Ritter started up towards the front. Lost ground quickly and didn't get to the right strategy. You'd see much of the night. 15th is where it ends up being for him. Brett Johnson in 16th. Troy Olson in 17th. Campbell, Plather, Kim for top 20.
21st will go to Dana Rogers, and all these trucks slapped down or more. BJ Tidrick, 22nd. Chris Kynes, 25th. Adenbacher, 24th. Frank Harris, 25th. Mark Walls had a strong run in the beginning, falls back to 26th. Nichols, Grunwald, Malik, and Cooper, along with the rest of the lineup, including Ron Hunter, Chris Kamari. All trucks able to start, though some having problems entering on the start of the race in pit lane. And here's a look one more time at the Virginia 811 call before you dig. Race summary of cautions. 4, 16 laps, lead changes 5, and there it is. And I think a lot of people, Justin, thought we'd see a caution. You realize we had about a, 50-lap green flag run before the caution, the last caution of the race. The second half went caution-free, and I mean, it just literally made everything interesting for sure. Ryan Bloom, winner. We'll chat with him in a moment from Texas. No Limits Texas, round 4. Northwest Racing Series presented by CLICKIT RV. We are back in a moment.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Welcome back to No Limits Texas, and we are in the books for round number 4 tonight. Justin Prince, I'm Wesley Outland. We're going to grab a word here with our top 3 in just a moment, and of course, grabbing a word officially with Ryan Bloom in just a second. But first, Stephen O'Hare, the 41. Stephen, truck looked really, really strong. You lost distance for about 3-4 seconds, but then you really started to run them back down. Was it saving tires? Was it saving fuel? Did you realize they were going to start slowing up to the end, and you're having a podium finish here tonight, bud?
There we go. Yeah, I think we always bring fast trucks to Texas. So tonight was no different. Made a blunder there on the pit strategy and put us back, marred back with some challenging drivers, and just couldn't get back up.
Indeed, and it seemed like throughout the night, I will say this, O'Hare, you and your teammate both picked up front nose damage, but it didn't seem to impact you guys. How was that feeling, though, in the truck compared to the clean handling that we see that can be keen here in Texas?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, everybody built a little loose, but with that front end nose damage, it just made entry a little bit more difficult, and then exacerbated the loose exit. So it was just difficult to maintain speed on the straightaways, but you know, it is what it is.
Steph, and I want you to thank your sponsors, definitely. But, man, I got to get your take of just the competition that's grown in this series. And, of course, on any given night, now anybody can win these races. 4 different winners in 4 races now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had some good racing, and I think, you know, we'll battle it out. I'm glad that we're having some green flag runs. I think it's a massive improvement from the beginning of the season last year to this year. And to your point, yeah, it's fun to see, you know, all the work and effort that everybody's put in and improving driving, and it certainly shows, you know, on Monday nights. So excited to get that front end repaired and come back next week.
All right, there's the thoughts again of Stephen O'Hare. 3rd place here tonight. 2nd place now going to go to Dan West Jr. Dan, so close to winning. Run out of tires. Used up your tires. So concerned about fuel. What was the deciding factor, buddy, of having to settle for the deuce?
Oh, I just got beat by a better driver tonight. I think I had a really good set that Jeff set us up with. Unfortunately, we weren't able to really get any practice in. So I got the set when we logged in tonight, and Jeff did his homework, man. I mean, it was a better set than I gave it. I just used it up too fast, and Ryan did what Ryan does, man. I'm a Ryan Bloom fan, and a lot of respect for him, man. He's one of the cleaner drivers out here, and he just holds back and he goes when he needs to.
About to say as well, it seems when it comes to Texas, you either have a good short run truck that slides around after 15 laps, or you have the trucks that you guys had tonight where it stayed steady and was able to hold the momentum in 3 and 4 in particular, long run. How difficult was it, though, to be able to hold on to the truck to make sure it maintained that momentum, especially since it seemed you slid up a lot coming out of turn 4 and turn 2 in the late stages?
Yeah, the truck really, like I said, the set was really good. So it was just because what you were seeing was because I overdrove it in the middle of that run. And yeah, like you're saying, the tires are getting hot. I was starting to get the right front a little hot. So then it was pushing up in 3 and 4 there and getting out of the groove. And that's where Ryan was really catching me in 3 and 4. And if I could try to pedal it getting down into 3 and hold that bottom, stay in that rubber, I felt like the truck was pretty good. So again, I think it's just laps. I needed to put a little more laps in with that set, and it's just lack of lap times, if you will.
Well, Dan, obviously this series has really, really grown, man. On any given night, you got a shot to win it. What's it going to take to reset and get the Xfinity car Wednesday to victory lane for sure? What you use from tonight's truck race to help?
Just try to stay out of trouble. That's what I think at any of these races. I mean, any of these guys, if you stay out of trouble, you just kind of find yourself, at the front towards the end. So unfortunately, my teammates had some issues with not staying out of trouble, just some bad luck. And so I think that's where we have to be. It's just stay out of trouble, take care of your car, take care of the tires, and hopefully we'll be towards the front there and be battling with these guys again.
All right, buddy. Thank the sponsors. We'll let you go.
LSRTV, CRN, CLICKIT RV, and a big shout out again to Jeff Stabnow. I mean, the guy, he puts a lot of effort into this deal, and I think he really would have been the one to win this thing if he wouldn't have had some crappy luck. So a big shout out to him for the paint and for the work he puts in. Thanks, guys.
Another solid top 10 again for Jeff Stabnow as well. And of course, that's one of his teammates for the LSRTV CRN crew, the number 55, Shelton Washington, Dan West Jr. Ryan Bloom back in victory lane, win racing, another win for that team. I want to say it's 3 weeks in a row now. Congratulations. Congratulations are in order. Ryan, finally, you break through into victory lane. And I had a feeling it was coming more sooner than later. Your take of being now the 4th different winner on the series this year.
Well, that was certainly a lot of fun. I mean, Dan just gave me, everything I could handle trying to get around him. I felt like I was trying to set up a pass for like 30 laps. And I'm really, really glad he didn't. I didn't wreck when I got into him a little bit. That's certainly not how I want to win a race. So I was glad I was able to kind of have him he gathered it up, and I was able to just kind of race him and then just figure out a way to get around him. Like I said, I have so much respect for him, and I knew it'd be tough, and I'm really impressed with the lack of practice he had that he's able to hold strong there. I fortunately, like everyone else, probably a little loose. I was overdriving it there a little bit towards the end, and just kind of had to be patient and just kind of, I knew I could get him off the corners, and I knew I was really strong in 3 and 4, and so I just tried to find different ways to set up that pass, and finally got it done on the last lap. So it was a lot of fun, and really good momentum for our team, and so I'm really happy about it.
Gonna say, when you started off the race up towards the front on the pole, looked strong with the clean air. But notice there was the struggles in the clean air to make those passes you were talking about, to set them up, especially when it didn't get to the long. So what was that turning point to try and find light throughout that race to be able to make sure you didn't press too hard, had the long run pace, but also can get around trucks with that dirty air being such a prevalent part of Texas?
Yeah, after that first caution, when I was out front, I knew I'd probably be out back in traffic a little bit. So I did listen up a little bit to help with dirty air, and I felt it was getting a little tight on that first run, so I loosened up probably a little too much. So my takeoff speed wasn't great. It took a couple laps for it to come in. But yeah, once it kind of got going, then we had good long run speed. I was running those guys down. Unfortunately, I got kind of held up in one of the last restart with some guys that stayed out, and so I kind of got caught back there a little bit, but I was able to run them down, and I think the loosening up definitely helped get through the traffic. Just wish I had a little bit more right rear there at the end. I was kind of overdriving a little bit, so I just, like I said, had to be a little patient and come off the corner and not try to get in throttle too much.
Ryan, 4 for 4. Now 4 different winners in 4 races at the start of the season. Segue this into thanking your sponsors and closing as well. But what can you say about just how much you've grown And not just yourself, but these other drivers that were either field fillers, I mean that term in no disrespect, or drivers that had problems in the past are now being contenders that can fight for wins.
I mean, I think it's great. I think it's a testament to how strong the racing is in this series. I know my first year, I was, top 10 was a victory for me, and you have guys like Dan and Sean and Jeff and Caden and Cole. I mean, the list goes on, but those guys really do make people better, because if you want to be competitive, you're going to have to get better. There's really no way around it. So, it's just putting in the time and trying to match those guys and be competitive. And it's a lot of fun running up front with those guys. And just, it's a lot of hard work, really. Just a lot of learning. Obviously building fast setups helps, but I made a lot of progress in that area, just finding speed in our setups, and great teammates to help out on our building sets. And I could go on, but yeah, it's great to see the improvement, and it's really been a great start to the year so far.
Sponsors.
Yeah, just want to thank CLICKIT RV for their coming on board, sponsoring the series, and of course our team and our trucks. And shout out to Dennis and Kevin. We're 2 men down this week, so big shout out to Toby. He really put in a lot of time and work on the setup, and it really showed. I think he's showing some improvement. I think he's going to be running up front here pretty soon. So just shout out to those guys, and look forward to next week.
4 different winners in 4 races, and now add another Win Racing driver to the platform, the driver of the number 25, Ryan Blue, here tonight at No Limits Texas. Remember, the Northwest CLICKIT RV Fixed Series Xfinity B cars will be here on Wednesday. Justin, real quick, your final take of things, man, here tonight at Texas. Definitely did not disappoint. This race had it all. And, of course, now 4 different winners in 4 events. Any and everybody can win on the Northwest Series, no doubt.
Anyone and anywhere, I think you could say. And I think it's been just showcasing some of the talent when it comes to this season so far, and the difficulties of picking the right strategy in turn. There were several different contenders throughout the night who could have came home in victory lane, but in the turn of things, Loom and West Jr. amongst the best throughout the entire night, consistently in the front, despite some of the strategies. I'm glad it played out to the very end with the long run to let them race it out to see who would come away with the checker flag tonight.
Well, we'll be back again on Wednesday for the, again, Northwest CLICKIT RV Fixed Setup B cars. In addition to that, we've also got coverage on Wednesday night. Thursday, we've got the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying at Texas for these drivers. Of course, that is a simulcast with the FTN network along with LSRTV. And then we've also got the Northwest Super Late Model Dirt Series coming up Sunday. Also, another event with the World of Thunder Esports League, now on pavement with trucks. Also, all of that on the way. LiveSimRacing.com for Charles Wooten, Jeff Stab now, everybody at Rocket Racing Media. For Justin Prince, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations, Ryan Bloom. 4 for 4 in the Northwest trucks tonight at No Limits, Texas.